Braid is a platform puzzle game that exceeds and even overtakes a generation of games that are considered similar and repetitive. Released to the Xbox 360 in August 2008, it was considered one of the best indie games of the year. The game follows the story of its protagonist, Tim, as he travels through different worlds to save a princess from a monster. The game's story, however, is not as simple. You will learn more about the story by reading books about Tim's past, and without any spoilers, by the time you reach the end, you will be surprised. Braid is a very complex puzzle game based around the fact that you can reverse time. Each world has a certain catch to it, such as a green glow that surrounds objects that cause time flow to not affect it, or time only moving when you move forward on a horizontal axis. Every world and puzzle is unique. You will never feel like you are doing the same thing over and over again. The beginning stage of each world isn't a tutorial on what the world contains, but rather a mini puzzle that introduces you to the scheme of it. This causes very little confusion, yet maintains the complexity of the puzzles, because you aren't just thrown into the world instantly, but rather you learn little by little about how to deal with these new obstacles. Every time I play Braid, the music gives me chills, yet cheers me up at the same time. The licensed music was chosen for its ability to loop without ever noticing to maintain the atmosphere and mood while a player works on a long, difficult puzzle. This worked perfectly for me, as sometimes I would be standing there trying to figure out what to do, and after 20 minutes of thinking, I found myself still humming along to the music. The artwork in this game is to die for, and with its abstract look and colorful tone, it will have you taking time to just stand there and look around at your surroundings. Every world has a different look to it, whether it's a fun-loving snowy land or a rainy, stormy night. You can appreciate the work and detail every little thing has. The game is simple, so therefore you will have a simple control scheme. Just the arrow keys and WASD keys will keep you moving, and if you die, just hit the shift key and revert time to retry and continue on your journey. Besides all that, you will have to hit up or W to pick up a ring that slows time in certain areas, but that is only used a couple times throughout the game. The game is already a puzzle game, so why confuse players even more by having confusing controls? The developers knew this, and they made these. No silly combos or double jumps. These controls test the limit of the player. If you die, it's your fault. It's not because the double jump didn't go off right. And I like that about the game. You never feel cheated, and even if you do die, just reverse time and be on your way. Overall, this is an amazing game, with very unique artwork that complements everything this game stands for. The puzzles are difficult enough to make you want to quit, and they make you think outside and inside the box at the same time. Between constantly restarting to get a fresh start on a puzzle, and just staring at the landscape for clues, I always found myself in awe when I discovered what to do. There are even 8 stars you can collect that are hidden so amazingly that I didn't even notice them even on my second playthrough. The story is so amazing, very simple, it throws you in the game with nothing, no long drawn out dialogue, no flashy cutscene, just a world select, and by the end of the game, you know more about the story but less about the way this world works. The controls are simple and fast: move, reverse time, and pick up, and even that is only used about 5 times during the game. Though the game is short, I came out of it feeling like years had passed and still wanted more. Unfortunately, there really isn't much replayability. Once you beat the game, that's it, unless you leave it for about a year and come back to it when you forget about all the puzzles. In a generation where FPS and complete massacre dominate the video game market, this is a very unique and special game. I love everything about this game, and it will forever go down as one of my favorite games of all time.